daylight, I'd believe it, but no, some of us have got lost. They'll be turning around in a minute.
What shall we do?
Hit the lightning! The lightning!
Hey, let's not get excited, our lightnings are expensive.
They even had a little cart. They're pulling it by hand. One at the front and two at the back.
No, they must be on their way to the mine.
No, they're coming here. There's a cart that's covered in hay. There's a woman on it. There's a woman on the cart.
Can someone at least get Mara onto the balcony with her parasol?
And here! The Scottish lass will frighten her! Could someone turn the lights on, though? I don't want to break my neck. And they stop it! And they go away!
I'll get Catrone! Catrone!
Catrone!
He has gout!
What's going on? What are you frightened of? Aren't you ashamed of yourselves?
They're coming up quickly. There's more than 10 of them.
No, there's 7. I counted. And they've got a woman.
Oh, lucky then. A woman. She must be an exiled queen. Is she naked? Naked? Yes, naked, you fool! On a cart of hay, a naked woman, her breasts out in the air, and her hair was poured like blood in a tragedy. Her outcast ministers pull her. Oh, it's sweaty work they have removed their fine clothes. Oh, come on! Please, don't go reasonable on me. Think that we run no danger, and it is only cowards who reason. Now that night is falling, our rule begins.
Right. But if they don't believe it's real...
Are you telling me that you need people to tell you that you're real before you can believe in yourself?
Well, they're still coming our way!
The lightning hasn't stopped them. Mara hasn't stopped them.
Well, if it's not working, we may as well stop wasting electricity. Turn everything off!
Yes, turn it all off! Cut it out with the lightnings! Mara, come down here. If they are not frightened, then that means that they are of our kind. Oh, and it'll be easy for us to get on. The villa is big. Did you say there were 7 of them?
Yes, 7, I think.
You said you counted them a second ago.
7.
Oh, well, that's not that many.
7 and a cart. Is that not enough for you?
Oh, and unless they lost the others.
Are they highwaymen?
Highwaymen? Oh, be quiet. When one is mad, anything is possible. Maybe they have come.
Who's they?
Oh, here they come!
Oh, my friends! I cannot thank you enough. You were truly excellent. We were getting so fed up.
Thank you. What for?
What do you mean, what for? The signals you were making to help us find a way? We would have never found this place without your help.
Indeed, it must be them.
Yeah, very daring. Well done, young lady.
Yes, yes. How you kept the balance on that parapet. And that little parasol. Wonderful.
And the lightnings were beautiful. And the little green flame.
Get a load of this. They think it's theatre. We pretend we're ghosts.
And they think it's funny. Ghosts? What ghosts?
You know, the apparitions we make to scare people.
Silence! The Countess's company.
Here we are. Here we are.
Company? Well, the remnants of.
Not at all. The pillars. For goodness sake, say the pillars.
And first and foremost, the kite.
A welcome count!
A count of no account.
Why won't you stop putting yourselves down? It's humiliating.
Come now, my dear, nobody's humiliating.
Oh, let us say it is so, Count. But believe me when I say at this point, it is better not to oversell ourselves.
I was only speaking for myself when I said remnants.
Oh, you are far too modest, as we all know.
Not modest, rather faint from timeless and
Oh, but you're something to eat as well.
Fire in the kitchen's out.
Well, we can light it again. But first of all, could you please tell us?
Who are these people?
Yes, presently. But, Count, where is the Countess?
She's here, but she too is extremely tired.
She can't even walk on her own 2 feet.
Well, such a dote is building up his strength.
What little strength he has left.
For the final push?
Well, I can lend a hand as well.
No, she could make an effort and walk by herself.
No, she cannot!
Well, we should be coming soon. You're in the way.
Countess?
Are they all right? I don't know. Maybe the last bit of a hill. Oh, okay.
Mind the cypress.
Here comes the Countess.
God, she's pale. She looks dead.
Quiet.
Right.
If you want to hear a new tale, believe this, my wretched state, but most of all believe this mother's tears, for a curse, They laugh, educated people do, though they see that I am suffering, they are not touched.
Oh, but you are acting!
On the contrary, it irritates them. You stupid, stupid woman, they shout in my face, because they could not believe that my child, my son, could really. But you have to believe me, because I am bringing witnesses. These are all poor women, poor mothers such as I. In the neighborhood, we all know each other, and we know the truth.
No, my darling, you must stop now.
The women!
Don't you see? The women are not here now.
Not here. But why? Where have you brought me?
We've arrived.
Oh,
We'll ask confirmation now.
She was so convincing.
What a shame. I was quite enjoying that.
The way they all laughed at the same time.
I've got it. You've organised as a show.
Yes, they are acting! Oh, what do you want them to do? They are theatre folk.
I beg you, please do not speak like that in front of my wife.
oh, why shouldn't he? Pray do say so. A stage actress, yes, an actress, not he, but I am. I was born one, it's in my blood, and he, dragged down by me.
Good heavens, what are you saying?
Dragged down from your marble towers into wooden huts. Oh, but also into the town square. The town square. Oh, where are we now? Sacerdote? Sacerdote, where are you? Oh, try sounding the trumpets. We ought to be able to round some people up. Oh, and where are we? Oh my God! Where are we?
You are among friends, Countess!
It's her fever. She's delirious.
Is she a real countess?
Countess, she's my wife!
Quiet, Clockwell!
They look completely bad to us. If you won't tell us.
We were told to come to you.
Yes, Hannah, please forgive them. I should have warned them. I used that term before for them, but I know very well.
know nothing. How could you know anything of this woman's heroic martyrdom?
No! I forbid you to speak about it, Spitzy. If I wasn't born an actress, it would be a different matter. But what offends me is exactly this, that you should be the first to think it and to lead others to think it too. Want a good script? Well, sell yourself. New clothes and jewels? Sell yourself. Even for a good review in a filthy paper, you'd have me sell myself.
What are you on about? Why are you saying these things to me?
Because you said it.
I said it. What did I say? And when?
Don't demean yourself by talking of such things. You, it's horrible.
No, dear. It's actually good that we should talk about it. Now that we have reached this thing, dry husks of what we once were. You know, sleep together in the stables.
That's not true.
Not true. Last night.
Was this stable deal? You slept on a bench in a train station.
Third-class waiting room.
When you toss and turn, words slip out, things are said. Perhaps because you can't see in enough, you think people can't hear either, but I heard you.
What did you hear?
A thing. As I lay among them, I can't tell if they were spider webs.
Of course not, Ilse.
So as I lay among the cold scraps of darkness, which in my fever kept flapping in my face, yes, every time I breathed out. As soon as I heard you, I laughed, but soon it made me shiver and I clenched my jaw. I had to pull myself together and stay tense to stop myself from howling like a beaten dog. Did you not hear that laugh of mine?
No.
Yes, you did. You thought it was another. You couldn't bring yourself to think it might have been me. You thought it was someone in agreement with you.
I don't remember anything.
I remember every word.
What was it he said?
He said that to avoid suffering this heroic martyrdom, as you call it, and to avoid making all of you suffer, oh, how much better it would have been, he said.
Now I get it. We have all said it. Not only I, and those of us who have not said it have thought it. Right? I bet even he has.
I thought what?
Oh, that here, dear, here on this noble forehead. What was the word you used? A quickie?
Yes, yes, you should have. And then we would not all be dying of hunger here.
I should have planted 2 beautiful horns.
Howard, how dare you!
What's happening here? The guy is killing himself.
Is it true that you have all said it?
I will say, it's not true.
No, I haven't said anything. Well, me neither.
Is it true that you have thought it too?
Of course not. Going mad. From people we do not know.
Please don't mind us, Dickhouse.
Yes, in front of strangers. This is what it has come to.
Please, don't worry about us. We are on holiday here. We are open-hearted people, Countess.
Countess, I am an actress. I've just had to remind him, as if it were an honorary title I'd been given by him or one of the other members of the company.
Yes, I am an actor. And I don't show off about it. And you shouldn't be bragging about it, lady, especially not to me. Because I've always been an actor. I've done my part with dignity. Even if it meant following you all the way here. Whereas you, may I remind you, at one point decided, well, you didn't want to be an actress anymore.
That's not true. It was I who forced her to leave the theatre.
Oh, that was a very, very wise move, darling. If it only had stayed like that. You are Count, and me a pauper. And now you wouldn't have to live in my company. Oh, you had married a count. And he was rich. You had to be pure and honest. You were so proud of having kept yourself for so long. Yes, I know that was your reasoning.
Yes.
But you made a big deal of it. You had to show your honesty off. For the whole world. You were a countess, for God's sake. You know what? Real countesses cheat on their husbands. Countesses are more generous. They do it! And then the poor soul would not have killed himself. And you, your poor little husband, and all the rest of us would not be here now.
Those on butterfly called antennae.
Leave! You cannot stay with us!
You want me to leave? All right. When? Now? Sure, where's your wage then?
Oh, Oh yes, it's a fair question, darling. Where are his wages? You see, the real problem is we can't afford to give wages anymore.
Oh, Ilse, you can't say that of us.
I'm saying for him, what's it to do with you?
No, it's not true for me either. Wages. If that's what I was after, I would have left a long time ago, like the others did. I'm still here because I'm fond of you. And you make me so angry, even now.
What more do you want me to do?
Not now. I know it's too late now. I mean before. Before he killed himself and became the cancer that ate you and all the rest of us to the bone. I mean, look at us. Hungry, shagged, beaten, stray dogs. And her? Her head faced up, her wings broken. Like a little bird. The ones you see at the butcher's, hanging on a string run down through the holes in the wings.
Who was it who killed himself?
One of them.
No! You sweet old lady. Not one of them. Someone far greater than common people.
Oh, here we
A
go.
poet.
No, forgive me, Countess, but he wasn't a poet.
The Countess is speaking of the gentleman that wrote The Tale of the Changeling, which we've been touring these past 2 years.
Exactly. I guessed correctly.
Well, you dare declare he was not a poet?
Well, if he was, then that wasn't what killed him.
He killed himself because he loved her.
Oh, I see. Because this lady here, being, I suppose, faithful to her husband, refused to requite his love. Or poetry has nothing to do with it. Poets write poems. They don't kill themselves.
He thinks I should have requited his love, do you follow? Countess, as if my title should have made me available.
Rather than her heart.
Oh, will you shut up? She loved him too.
I did?
Of course you did. If anything, that's the only thing that redeems you in my eyes. Otherwise, I wouldn't understand any of this. And now, he is paying the price of your sacrifice, of your resistance. Which all goes to show, one should not go against what the heart commands.
Have you finished making a public display of our...
I thought you started it.
You started it.
Yes, you got slapped for it.
Yes, you did. Which I now erase. You are not the enemy. Although you do make a public display of our private life.
Ah, no, I don't.
Yes, you do. And you twist the knife in the wound in front of strangers who stand and stare.
Well, I twist the knife, Ilse. I twist the knife.
Oh, haven't you noticed? But it's natural for those who sleep in the streets. Oh, and you, poor dear, want to preserve some dignity. Oh, don't worry. We'll all be over soon. I fear we have reached the end.
Of course not. If only you would rest a little.
What is there left to hide? And where? You can show your soul if you have not sinned, like a naked little girl in torn clothes. Sleep is also torn from my eyes. Look around. Look deep down. It is evening. We're in the countryside. There are strangers staring at us. I loved him. And I let him die. This much can be said for a man to whom I never gave anything. Oh, it all seems now like a dream or another life, this sea we have crossed. My name back then was Ilse wholesome.
I know, Countess.
I had left a good impression on the stage.
Pure.
Or whoever said the contrary. She always was an obsessive lunatic. You know what? Before he married her, she even wanted to become a nun. What do you expect?
Oh, really? And knowing this, you wanted her, once you'd become a countess, to...
What? I told you why I said that.
Thank you. It was my sacred debt. A young man, his friend, a poet, came one day to see me, to read me a play he was writing. For me, he said, without much hope, for I had left the stage. But I found the work so beautiful. Yes, I became obsessed with it. But I understood well. A woman notices these things rather quickly, you see, when a man is interested in her, I mean. He wanted to use the charm of the play to lure me back to my old life. Not for the play, but for himself, that he might have me for his own. I understood that if I broke the illusion too soon, he might never finish writing the play, and so, for the sake of that beautiful play, not only did I refrain from breaking the illusion, but I fed it until the very end. Once he had finished writing the play, I refused him, but I was already burning with the same fire. Oh, if I have diminished myself to this, how can you fail to understand? He is right. I will never be free. The life I denied him, I have to give to his script. Well, he understood this, and he accepted my return to the stage to fulfill my sacred debt, only for the sake of this one play.
Of consecration and martyrdom. Because he was never jealous, not even after.
I had no reason to be.
But don't you see that to her he's not dead? She wants him to live. Look at her. Ragged like a beggar. Cough. Sick. Ill. She's dying from it. She's making us all die so that he, yes, he may live on.
But he's the one that's jealous.
No. Aren't you a clever?
It's so obvious you're all in love with her.
It's pain and compassion.
He tries to diminish me, but it only makes me more passionate. Of course I'm dying from it. But I have accepted it like an inheritance. Although I must admit that I did not expect the play would make me suffer so that it could have within itself to cause all the pain that I have managed to find in it.
For this play, once among people, written as it was by a poet, was the cause of your downfall. Oh, I understand. How I understand.
The very first performance.
Well, did no one like it?
Not one of them.
They booed us off the stage.
You don't say. Oh, I'm sorry, Countess. It's just simply that I understand too well. Your play was written by a poet.
And was therefore worthless. Although one would have expected the dazzle of the most spectacular stage ever built to make an impression on them. But no. Swine. They didn't appreciate.
And the lighting. You're forgetting that the lighting.
Absolutely spectacular stage. Yes.
But it was.
There were 42 of us, including the chorus.
And so few of you left.
So few. And in this state. What do you expect from a play done by a poet?
That's what you get as well.
Oh, he lost his family's entire estate funding it.
I regret nothing. I chose to.
How beautiful, how worthy of you.
No, I'm not obsessed, and I'm not crazy. I truly believed in the play.
Oh, but when I said that the play was written by a poet, I didn't mean to mock you. On the contrary, I meant to mock those people who turned against you.
Diminishing the play in my eyes is the same thing as diminishing her. Diminishing the price of what she has done. I lost my entire fortune on it. And I do not care. I do not regret it. Only as long as she remains up there. I can only put up with it all of the condition we now find ourselves in is ennobled by the beauty and the greatness of the play. Otherwise all those people looking down on us, you understand? I laughed.
But I hate them! I hate those people, Dickant! That's why I chose to live here! You want proof? I was a Christian, and I chose to become a Turk.
Let's leave religion out of this. Oh, no, let's leave religion out of this.
But my dear, this has nothing to do with Muhammad. No, I became a Turk because Christianity had lost all its poetry. But Christ, were all the audiences so cruel to you?
No, not all of them. We've made some friends here and there.
People that were passionate about the play.
Very few of them.
And the companies cancelled the contracts. And we were told we couldn't perform in the bigger theatres anymore because so many actors were missing. What else was missing? Props? Costumes?
It's not true though. We still have everything we need for a performance.
The costumes are in those bags there.
Under the hay, and to be honest, they're not really necessary.
And what about the sets?
We've always managed so far.
Yeah, no, and one actor can often play several roles. I mean, on stage I work well as both a man and a woman.
And you do off stage.
You cheeky bastards.
That is to say, we all do a bit of everything.
And we've never cut a single scene. The parts we can no longer act out, we just read.
The script is so beautiful that it doesn't matter if a few actors or props are missing.
But nothing is missing. Honestly, nothing is missing.
Yeah.
It's just that we got this damn gift for putting ourselves down.
I am full of admiration for your character, dear Count, but oh, believe me when I say it, you don't need to defend the beauty of the script, no, nor the quality of the show. You were pointed in my direction by a faraway friend of mine who probably was too slow or didn't find the way to pass on the advice I'd given him. I told him not to let you come this way.
Really? But why?
Is there nothing to do here?
Didn't I say so? Didn't I say so?
Well, it did seem a bit like up in the mountains.
I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Yeah, but how? Excuse me, if there is absolutely nothing here.
Well, not in the village, no.
But don't you have a theatre?
There is one. But it's falling apart. It's always been closed. And even if it were open, no one would come. They want to knock it down.
Tell the stadium.
For racing and wrestling.
No, I heard they want to open a cinema.
I'm afraid you don't have a chance.
Where else then? We didn't see any other settlements.
Where have we ended up?
The people in the village, they told us to come to you.
And here I am! With these friends of mine. Don't get yourself into a frenzy. We will study the situation together and arrive at a solution. In the meantime, if you would like to step into the villa, you must be tired. We would love to offer you all accommodation for the night. The villa is big.
Oh, you don't happen to have anything to eat, do you?
Oh, you'll have to follow our example, I'm afraid.
Really? Deny yourselves everything and you won't need anything.
Don't go scaring them away.
But what if you need everything?
Come on, come in, come in.
How can you survive on nothing?
What do you do for 2 days?
Countess, Countess, won't you come in?
You see, she won't give in.
Later. Please take care of the others if you listen to me.
Do you think we should accept?
Well, come on in shelter. Would you rather spend the night out here in the damp?
We will need something to eat, though.
Of course, we'll find you something. Mara, take care of it, will you?
Yes. Follow me.
You, Dodger, assign the rooms.
Sign one for the Countess first.
There is enough room for everyone, I hope.
For everybody. We have far too many bedrooms in this place.
Not my room, though. Careful now, not my room. My room isn't being given to anyone.
No, not to anyone. Everyone knows the organ's in there. She sleeps in the chapel.
We're going to have so much fun. I should be a little boy. I'll dance like a cat on the organ keeper.
For the Countess, I have saved the master bedroom. It has remained untouched ever since the villa was left by the noble family who used to live here. It is the only room in the house that still has a key. And I have it here.
5 kittens. 5 kittens for one mother cat. 5 kittens for one mother cat. Crouching horrified, horrified to see her suffer so. Tumbling and biting, scratching each other, chasing each other, running away, finding
Is she
each
going
other.
over her lines?
No, those aren't the lines. Of course.
Is it other mother cats who play these tricks on their children then? Look!
What must I look at?
Here, at this twisted tail made of twisted locks of hair. This little tail made of twisted locks of hair. We must not cut or comb. We must not cut or comb his hair. If we did, the child would die from it. The
Countess has a stunning voice. I think
must
if she would
not.
step into
We
the
must
villa for just
not.
a moment.
The
She's
child
very
would die
comfortable.
from it. The child would die from it.
That way you get to rest in it.
We may not have the necessary, but we are full to the brim with the superfluous. Take a look at this. Even outside the house, all I have to do is raise my voice. Hello there! And the light changes.
Oh. Pretty.
Is this possible?
They call me Catrone the Magician. I live modestly off these spells, I create them. And now look at this. Blackout! The dark of the night seems made for fireflies, flying who knows where, and giving out every now and then for a moment their languid green splash. Well, watch this. Here's one. And here's one. And here's one.
How is this possible?
What are they?
Fireflies. My magician's fireflies. We are here on the edges of life, Countess. Edges with one command may detach themselves. The invisible enters. Ghosts seep in. Oh, it is most natural. It is what normally happens in dreams. But I make it happen outside of sleep too. Dreams, music, prayers, love, all of the infinite that lies within humans you will find inside and around this villa.
Truly, if you keep going on like this, the angel 101 will not want to come and visit us.
Scripture! Oh, don't be silly. Come on, of course he'll visit. Come on, come sit with us. Come.
Those mad speeches we all have to hear.
Oh, but surely you know better than any of us that one should never be afraid of words. She is the one who prays for us all. Scripture of the angel 101. She came to live with us ever since the church refused to believe in the miracle that an angel, whose name is 101, performed for her.
101.
Oh yes, because he is responsible for 100 souls of poetry. He leads them every night to perform holy deeds.
Really? What miracle?
Go on, Scripture, tell it to the lady here.
You won't want to believe it.
Of course I'll believe your story.
No one could be more eager to believe it than the Countess. It happened during a journey she had to make one night to a nearby village where her sister lived.
A village of bad reputation, like too many others in this wild island.
Don't worry, it's just the voices.
Men are killed like flies.
They form in the air. I shall explain.
It's the murdered ones. Can you hear them? Oh, can you hear them? What do you mean, no? Of course it is. It's the child.
The child, yes, of course, the child. 'Tis said, Countess, that one night a cart driver gave a lift to a child he met on the road near him, and hearing the jingle of 1 or 2 coins in its pocket, he killed it in its sleep to buy himself some tobacco at the village. He threw the little corpse over the hedge and continued on his way, singing under the stars.
Under the eyes of God. And they were watching him. They were watching him so close. Do you know what that murderer did? At sunrise, instead of making his delivery, he went to the nearest guards, and with the child's money in his bloody hand, he denounced himself. It was as if someone else had been speaking through his lips. Do you see what God is capable of?
And it was this faith of Scriptures that gave her the courage to set off one night.
Night? I was never meant to set off at night. I was meant to set off at dawn. He was my neighbour. I had asked if I could borrow his little donkey.
This farmer had proposed to her.
That is irrelevant. Now, because he knew he had to get the donkey ready for me by dawn, he woke up in the middle of the night. The moon was bright, and he thought that the sun was shining. I realised immediately when I looked at the sky that it was not daylight. No, it was the moon. Being old, I crossed myself. I climbed into the saddle, and I was off. But once I reached the road, at night, through the fields, those awful shadows, in such silence. You see, the dust muffled the sound of the donkey's hooves, and the moon, and the long white road. So I pulled my cloak over my eyes so as to keep protected. And then perhaps it was tiredness or slow pace or this or that, but anyhow, at a certain point, it was as if I had woken up among 2 rows of soldiers. They were on both sides of the road, these soldiers, and ahead of them, right in front of me, in the middle of the road, on a majestic white horse, the captain.
Precisely.
I felt much safer at the sight, and I thanked God who had arranged things, so that on the very night of my journey, these men should also be travelling to Favre. But why in such silence? Young men of around 20, surrounding an old lady on a little donkey. They were not laughing about it. You couldn't even hear them walk. They didn't even lift any dust at all. Why? How could this be? I found out at dawn as we were reaching the village. The captain stopped on his great white horse, and he waited for my donkey to draw level with him. Screecher, I am the Angel 101, he said, and these men that have escorted you all the way here are the souls of purgatory. As soon as you reach the village, confess yourself to God. As before midday, you shall die. And upon these words, the angel and his holy army disappeared.
But now we're getting to the best bit! When her sister saw her, deathly pale and completely bewildered.
What's wrong? She cried. And I, fetch me a priest. Are you ill? Before midday, I shall die. And indeed. Do you believe you are still alive?
Oh!
Don't you believe it?
She believes she is dead.
In another world, Countess, with all of us.
odd world. And what about these voices?
Welcome them! Oh, don't waste time trying to explain them to yourself.
Did you set them up?
The point is that they help you to enter another truth. A truth far distant from our own, though just as faint and fickle. Keep that distance and try looking at yourself through the eyes of that old woman who saw the angel. You must not reason. This is how we live. Deprived of everything, but with all the time in the world for ourselves. An indecipherable richness, bubbling with dreams. Objects around us speak, and they only make sense arbitrarily, changing meaning every time we are exasperated. Oh, wow. Exasperated is a big word. We're rather calm and lazy. We sit and conceive preposterous thoughts. How can I put it? Myths that are all too natural to our way of life. Angels can descend among us in the blink of an eye, and we never cease to be amazed by the wonders that are born in us. We hear those voices, laughter, we see arising from every shadow, magical figures composed from the colours left in our eyes after they have been blinded by the sunlight. We don't invent these figures. They are a wish expressed by our eyes themselves. I can hear it come. Magdalene!
Oh. Who's that?
The Red Lady. Don't be alarmed, Countess. She is flesh and bone. The poor idiot. She hears, but she cannot speak. She is utterly alone and wanders the countryside. Men take her. Oh, she never understands what's happening to her, though it happens time and again, and simply lays her offspring on the grass. Here she is. She always wears on her lips and in her eyes the smile of the pleasure she gives. She comes nearly every night to us to seek refuge here at the villa. Come along, Magdalene.
Who does this villa belong to?
Well, it's ours. And it's no one's. It belongs to the spirits.
Spirits?
Well, yes. The villa is known for being inhabited by spirits. That's why it was abandoned by the family who used to live here.
You believe in spirits, do you?
Of course. We create them.
Oh, you create them.
Forgive me, Countess, but I was not expecting this from you. It's impossible that you do not believe in them just as we do. As actors, you give shape to ghosts so that they live, and they do live. We do just the opposite. From our bodies, ghosts. And we make them live just the same. Ghosts are always close at hand. You just need to let them come out of yourself. Did you not say that you were the dried out husk of what you once were?
Well, it couldn't be more.
Well, there! what you once were. But you just need to let her out of yourself. Do you not believe that she still lives then? Or does the ghost of the young man who killed himself for you not still live? You have him in you.
In me?
Why, yes. And I can make him appear. Look, he's in there. Here he comes.
Elsa, no, my God, I just want to make a joke!
Who has come out of himself to show a ghost?
What are you on about now?
The truth!
I was just playing a prank!
I have always invented the truth, dear sir, but people always thought I was lying. But the truth is never as relevant as when one has invented it. You want proof? Playing a prank. Oh, you were being obedient. Masks are never picked at random. And look, here comes more proof. She, as we can see, is dressed up as the Countess. Did you used to have a charge at court, Count?
No. Why?
Because she is dressed as a lady of court. You, like a tortoise from under its shell, have found yourself at home dressed as a dandy. And you thought of the donkey that's missing to pull your cart. And you have dressed yourself up as a sultan. My congratulations! I can tell that you are a bon vivant.
What is this masquerade?
They have an apparition room.
You must see the costumes. No opera house has such a wardrobe.
And they all picked the costume that suited them best.
No, I did it
That's a joke! What on earth made you think it was right to dress like this?
He obeyed.
Whose orders?
He's a magician, don't you understand?
No.
Be silent! You invent the truth, do you?
I've done nothing else. My entire life, unintentionally, Countess. All the truths that our consciousnesses refuse. I draw them out from the secret of the senses. The more frightening ones from the caverns of instinct. I came up with so many back at the villa that I had to flee, chased by scandal. But here, I practice dissolving these truths into ghosts, evanescences, passing shadows. With these friends of mine, I find ways to nuance even external reality with radiant light, pouring the soul out into the dreamy night like wisps of coloured cloud.
Like fireworks.
Without the explosions. Silent spells. Foolish folk dare not come near, and so we remain masters. Masters of everything and of nothing.
Do you hear that, Count? Sounds just like us. What do you live off?
Well, this. Nothing and everything.
Nothing. So according to you, we have everything.
No. Because you still want to have something. When you truly will not want anything at all, then you will do.
Without a bed, you can still sleep.
Bag.
But you sleep.
And who can stop you from sleeping with God, who wants you healthy, blesses you with tired?
And it takes hunger to find delight in a piece of bread, whereas no amount of refined food will ever satisfy a full stomach. Isn't that right, Quaquera?
And when you don't have a home, the whole world is yours. You can come and go, lie in the grass under silent skies, and you're nothing and everything, and you're everything and nothing.
This is how beggars speak, Countess. Very refined people, and with rare taste too, to have reached that exquisite privilege that is mendacity. There are no mediocre beggars. It's just those who are sensible and sparing who are mediocre. Dutcher is our bank. He worked for 30 years to be able to afford the luxury of charity. And then he came here to donate it all to the freedom of dreams. He pays for everything.
Yes, but you mustn't go spending it too quickly.
He plays the miser to make it last longer.
It's true, it's true.
I, too, might once have been a great man, Countess. Well, I gave up. I gave up everything. Honor, decorum, dignity, virtue, all these things that animals just ignore in their God-blessed innocence. Once released from these weights, our soul becomes as vast as air, full of sun or clouds, open to lightning, abandoned to the winds, the superfluous and mysterious stuff of miracles. It can lift us and scatter us into a fabulous distance. We look back down at earth and how sad it looks. There may be some down there who believe that they are living our life, but they are wrong. None of us are in the bodies that other people see. We are in the soul that speaks from who knows where. Nobody can tell. From one appearance to another appearance with this funny little name, Catrone, or him, Dutcher, or you, Quaquare. A body is just a tomb. Oh, it would be madness to see yourself in your own body, or going around with your own name. We become ghosts. All the ghosts that cross our mind. Some of us don't even have a choice. Take, for example, the ghost of the Scottish lass with the parasol. Or the ghost of the dwarf in his checkered shirt. All specialities of the villa. We made up all the other stuff. With the divine prerogative of children who take their game seriously, we pour out the wonders within us onto the objects that we play with, and allow ourselves to become enchanted by them. It's no longer a game, but the wondrous reality in which we live. Alienated from everything, sometimes reaching the climax of insanity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what was once said to the pilgrims. Kick off your sandals! You have arrived! I have been waiting years for people such as yourselves to come and breathe yet more life into even more ghosts that I have in mind. But we will also stage your tale of the changeling, like a prodigy, satisfied with its own worth alone.
Here.
Not just for us.
She wants us to stay forever. Don't you understand?
Of course! What are you looking for among people? Can't you see how they have mistreated you?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, Dad. Hang on now, there's a lot of them.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, this place really is gorgeous.
Oh, and so I must continue alone, reading instead of performing at the play?
No, Ilsa. Let those who want to stay, stay. I will follow you forever.
And you can
It seems that the Countess cannot give up her mission.
Until the bitter end.
I mean, you do not want the play to live for itself, when she could only ever do here.
The play lives in me. Yes. But it is not enough. It must live among men.
Poor play? Or just as your poet never knew your love, or this play will never know glory among men. Enough. It is late, and it is best that we rested. Since the Countess refuses, I have a thought. I will tell you tomorrow at dawn.
What thought?
Tomorrow at dawn, dear Count. Daylight is blinding, and the night should belong to our dreams. Oh, it's only at twilight that men can see clearly. At dawn, into the future. At dusk, into the past. I will see you tomorrow.
As if they were only pretending not to see us. They seem made for our production, as if they were there to take up the available parts, see? The sailors we've never been able to cast.
He must have prepared them.
He? What does he know?
I gave him the script.
That makes sense. But what are we going to do with a bunch of puppets? They can't speak. I still have no idea what kind of place this is. It's in these moments of doubt that I like to...
In God's name, how do we get out of here?
Would you go outside?
Yes, I want to go away now.
Where?
I don't know, just out in the open air.
At night, everybody's asleep. Do you really want to expose yourself at this time?
That bed creeps me out.
Oh, it's horrid.
Oh, all that moth-eaten purple padding.
But it is a bed after all.
Oh, you go to sleep, I can't.
What about you?
There's a bench outside.
I'm afraid on your own outside. Upstairs, you be with me.
It's you I'm afraid of, darling. Don't you get it?
Me? But why?
I know you and I see you. You follow me like a beggar.
Should I not be by your side?
Not with those eyes, not in this way. I feel... I don't know, I feel sticky, yes, sticky with all your spineless, supplicating shyness. It's on your hands, it's in your eyes.
That's because I love you.
Thank you. You do have a way of bringing it up in the most inappropriate places. Or when I feel dead inside. So the least I can do is try and get away from you, otherwise I'll start screaming like a mad woman. Do you realize this is a form of blackmail?
Blackmail?
Yes, you want me to make up for everything I've made you lose.
How could you think such a thing?
never going to make me apologize.
So what will you say? I haven't lost anything, and I'll never believe I have. As long as I have you, do you call this blackmail?
Tim, the way you try and make me meet your eyes, I can't bear it. It's revolting.
Kiss of distant. I want you back.
We all know what for.
No! Back the way you once were with me.
The way I once was. You really think you can still see in me all that I once was?
Why? Are you no longer my Ilse?
I no longer recognize the sound of my own voice. I speak in all these words, other people's voices, these noises. It seems to be a deafness in the air that makes all words sound cruel. I beg you, spare me words.
It's true then.
What?
Oh Lord. You no longer love me.
What are you saying, you silly thing? How can I no longer love you when I can no longer imagine myself without you? Oh, what I'm saying is don't demand it because you know that it's true. My God, you know it as well as I do, even when it's not on your mind. You have to feel it, not think it, darling. Try and be reasonable.
I know. I should never think about myself.
Not if you want the happiness of others.
What about my own? Now and then. If I didn't mention
I've even forgotten how to regret the past.
No, I am talking about your feelings.
But they haven't changed.
It's not true. Before.
Before? How can you be so certain of before? That in those conditions my feelings would have lasted better? At least this way they find a way. My God, can't you see where we are now? It's a miracle if when we touch ourselves we can be certain that our own bodies still exist.
That's precisely what I mean.
How?
I'd like to feel you close to me.
Am I not with you now?
Maybe it's my mood. I feel so utterly lost. I no longer know where we are or where we are going.
We can't go back.
I can no longer see a path ahead of us.
This man says he invents the truth.
That's easy for him to say if he invents it.
The truth in dreams, he says, which is truer than ourselves.
Good for some.
And if you think about it, what could be more absurd than this truth that we are here in this place tonight? Honestly, if we start thinking about it, we'll go mad.
I feel like we started going mad a very long time ago. Slowly but surely we got there. I remember the last time we went down our great mansion staircase. I had Riri in my arms, poor beast. You never gave her a thought, but I always do. Silky white foot.
If we had to sit and remember everything we'd lost.
All those chandeliers. The great marble banister. On our way down the staircase, we were so happy and full of hope. To find that it was so cold and dark outside.
And yet, you must tell yourself we've lost very little really, though it seemed a lot in material terms. If our riches brought us this poverty, we mustn't diminish ourselves.
You're saying this to me, Elsa. I'm the one who's always told you you mustn't diminish yourself.
Oh, I know. Oh, you are good to me. Let's go back upstairs. Maybe I'll be able to rest a little now.
Don't they love making things complicated for themselves?
And then they always end up doing exactly what they would have done in the first place.
Without all the complications.
The angel 101! The angel has come to fetch me with his men! Here he comes! Oh, here he comes! Down on your knees, everyone! Down on your knees!
When all is still and calm, faith and charity, 'tis God who bringeth health to each downtrodden well, to those who are needy. With pieces many arms, when all is still and calm, faith and charity, 'tis God who bringeth health to each downtrodden those who are needy.
Oh, hey, Colonel. Have you seen yourself?
Have I seen myself? What about you? You've got the Vanna Skoma costume on, but you forgot to put them on.
No, we dressed as Vanna Skoma. No, don't be ridiculous. I'm still dressed as a noblewoman. I was getting undressed, but you know what? I think I swallowed a pin.
A pin? That sounds serious.
Yeah, I can feel it here.
I'm sorry, but were you really getting undressed because you've got the Vanna Skoma?
No, I told you I was getting undressed, but there is this pin and...
Right. What happened to that pin? Were you holding it between your teeth when you were getting undressed?
No, it happened just now. Oh, maybe there were two of them.
2 pins.
Yes, two. Or maybe I dreamed it. Or maybe it happened before I started dreaming. Oh, no, I can feel it here. Oh, Christ, I saw. What did you see? That wall over there. It was terrifying. What? It was terrifying.
When you say you saw, you mean you heard. I heard it too.
It was scaring me. I think they gave a fever.
Back there, music. Come, let me show you.
Music?
A wonderful music, a heavenly concert. You just need to find the right spots.
What music?
I don't know, it sounds like it comes from another world. Can you hear it?
My God, it's true. It's Rich on the organ.
No, of course not. This is not human. If you only take one step back. Here.
No, I want
Stop.
more. I'm about to burst open the theater.
The spinner has got things to see and things to hear. Isn't that beautiful?
Here! I'll tell you what I saw. That wall over there. It opened. The wall opened? Yes! I could see the sky. There wasn't a window. No, there was no window. So across from me the wall opened. Moonlight. Like nothing I've ever seen. Shining behind a seat carved out of stone. A long one. With clumps of grass that stood out so sharply I could count every single blade. The idiot woman in the red dress was there. The one who smiles and does not
quill?
No, not that one. This one had a dark grey cape that went down to his feet, and he was swaying like a bell. He took the little copper from the woman, and it glittered all over, and then he ran as if he were about to leave, but he hid behind the seat. And every now and again he peered out maliciously to spy on her, to see if she gave in to temptation. But the woman, dead still she was, with her eyes fixed and her lips smiling. I could almost see her teeth between her lips, slightly parted like a smile.
Are you sure this wasn't a dream?
Dream! I saw it like I see the two of you now! Oh God, Cromwell, that means I really swallowed that pin!
Wait, both of you, just wait here. I'm going to my room to check something.
Wait, no.
I'll be right back.
What's he going to do? I don't know, I'm shaking all over. Don't make any sudden movements. What's wrong? Is it just me, or did those puppets move? You saw one move? Yes, they moved! No, of course not. Someone just left them there. It's okay.
I knew it! I was right, of course. Nothing's wrong. We're not actually here.
But what do you mean we're not here?
We've woken up outside of ourselves.
With what?
Ourselves. Go. Check for yourself. Go to your rooms. It's hilarious.
Finally.
You got there.
Took you a while, didn't it?
We were starting to get bored.
Right. Seems only fair that you should do too.
Do you mind if we stretch our legs together?
Completely mad! This isn't my body, but I can feel my... Oh my God, they're moving! I must...
Shut up! They're part of the dream too. I've told you already, we've woken up outside ourselves.
Outside of what? I mean...
Ourselves! We're only dreaming. We're not really here. Our bodies are back in our rooms. Fast asleep.
Are our bodies still breathing? Are we dead?
Dead! I saw mine snore, happy as a fat pig. Breath and belly going up and down, up and down.
My body was lying there with its mouth wide open. And I always thought I slept like an angel.
An angel? As if.
She was cooling.
No, be quiet! You're in it too. You're a little sailor man now. Here, have a whore. Let's have a dance, everyone. A dream dance. Nothing's real! You're not actually hanging yourself!
Let's see if I'm hanging myself in a dream!
Poor sod. Only because he loves the Countess.
Oh my God, Vince's hanging himself!
No, you're dreaming it too!
No, he's asleep in his bed! Yeah, you are too! Go see for yourself!
What's me asleep? He's hanging himself! Look!
I tell you! Hanging off a tree behind the villa!
There are no trees behind the villa!
There are, behind a little pool!
There is no pool, Countess, you can go check!
He dreamed it too!
Yes, I did.
Oh, relax, Countess, it's the house! It breaks out every night into song and dreams. Our dreams come out of us and live as they are born, incoherently. That's what poets are for. They give coherence to dreams. Oh, here comes Mr. Spitzy, don't you see? He must have been the first to dream of his hanging.
Oh!
How did you know?
We all do, my dear.
You too?
Yes, I dreamed it too.
And I.
All of you. How is this possible?
It seems clear that you hold secrets for no one, even when you're dreaming. As I was saying, this is also a prerogative of our villa. As soon as the moon rises, everything on earth becomes ethereal. It is as if life has gone and all that is left is the melancholy husk of memory. That's when our dreams come out. As the more passionate ones among us suddenly take the decision to sling a rope around their necks and hang themselves off an imaginary tree. Oh, Spitzy, we all speak. And after having done so, we usually admit that it was in vain and retreat back into ourselves like a dog after it has barked at a shadow.
No, it's those damn lines! I've been reciting these past 2 years with the exact feelings the author intended them to have.
But those lines are addressed to a mother.
Thanks for telling me. The man who wrote them, he wrote them for you, and you were no mother for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the subject of the blame that he is throwing on those lines, well, it's almost dawn, and I told you, did I not, that I would let you know the thought that I had for you? I know where you can perform your tale of the changeling. Oh, that is, if you really would rather not stay here with us. Oh, well, you must know then that today there will be a colossal wedding celebration in honor of the union of the two families known as the Mountain Giants.
Giants?
Well, not real giants, dear Count, no. They were given that nickname because they are tall and they're powerfully built and they live on the mountain. I am offering to escort you there. We will introduce you, but don't rub them the wrong way. You see, the toils to which they have set themselves up there, the continuous use of brute strength, the boldness required to face the perils and risks of an inhuman enterprise. Digging foundations, pumping water from mountain basins, factories, roads, agriculture, all these things didn't just lead to the strengthening of their muscles, no. Quite naturally it contributed to the hardening of their skulls, made them slightly bestial. Well, delighted as they are with their performance, they are rather predictable. All you need to do is flatter them, and they will do whatever you ask. I'll take care of that side of things. You should focus on your own issues. Leading you up the mountain to Uno de Dorma and Lepardo to achieve as nuptials, well, that's more than easy for us. But you, on the other hand, have quite a problem. How on earth are you going to stage the tale?
Don't these giants have a theatre?
Well, the theatre isn't an issue, Spitzy. You can turn any place into a theatre. What I'm talking about is the play you want to perform. You need quite some gall, my dear Count, to say that you have everything and that nothing's left out. Well, there are 7 of you. And you'd need half a country's population just to cast it.
Well, yes, we're doing it without the chorus.
What chorus? Every character in your play has lines.
We have the lead characters covered.
The lead characters aren't the issue. What's important in this play is the magic. You have to create the charm of a fairy tale.
Yes.
But how on earth will you ever do that? Everything is missing. This is a great ensemble production. I understand now, Count, how you came to spend your entire fortune on it. I was up all night reading it with my friends. Countess, it's phenomenal. I was hooked. It's truly meant to live here, among people who believe that ghosts are more real than bodies.
We saw that you prepared those puppets for us.
Already? Oh, that was quick of them. I had no idea.
No idea? Didn't you prepare them?
I didn't. Oh, but it's quite simple. Little by little, as I was reading the play, they were preparing themselves. Oh. I told you, didn't I, that the house was inhabited by spirits? Well, I wasn't joking. There are other creatures on this earth, Countess, leading a most natural existence. Only we humans, flawed as we are by our 5 limited senses, we can't perceive them. However, as chance would have it, on certain rare occasions, these creatures reveal themselves to us and fill us with fear. Perhaps it's only to be expected if we've never even heard of their existence. They live on Earth, but are not human, my friends. They come in many forms, these invisible spirits of nature. Some live in the rocks, others in the air, in water, in fire, in trees. Well, the ancients knew them well, and common folk still do. We know them all too well here, because we wrestle with them and sometimes overpower them and use them to assist us in our conjurations, giving them a meaning that they don't understand and little care for. Countess, if you only look at life from within the bounds of what is natural or what is possible, then, well, I must tell you that you will never understand any of this. We are beyond these petty bounds, thank heavens. All we have to do is imagine something, and that thing instantly comes to life. As soon as something truly lives within us, then that thing will perform itself spontaneously by virtue of its own existence. Such are the free advents of these birds. Or at the most, we can assist in their coming to life. For example, by using the puppets. If the spirits of the characters they represent comes to possess them, then they will start to move and to speak. But believe me that the real miracle will never be in any performance, but in the imagination of the poet who gave them life, who made them so alive that you can see them, even if they're not physically present. Translating them into a fictional reality on stage is what is commonly done in theatres. It's your job.
So you're comparing us to these puppets of yours?
No, forgive me, but there is no comparison. They are better than you, my friend.
Better than?
Well, of course. If the characters can inhabit them so that they move and speak, then...
I'd be curious to see this one.
Would you? You'd be curious. Well, what if I told you that these miracles are never seen through curiosity? You have to believe in them, just like children do. Your poet imagined a mother who believed that her infant child was taken by those witches of the night, those witches of the winds that common folk call the women. Educated people laugh, as we all know, and you may laugh too. But I am here to tell you that they really exist. Yes, they do, the women. On stormy winter nights, we have often heard them howl in broken voices. flying with the air over these lands. Okay. Let's try invoking them. They enter houses at night down chimney throats like black smoke. What can a poor mother know? While she sleeps after a long day, they lean over in the darkness and with their long fingers.
You mean you actually learned the lines by heart?
I actually learned the lines. Oh, but Countess, we can do the whole play now in order to test out those elements that you require. Try, Countess, try to live out your part as the mother, and I will show you. I will give you a taste. Tell us, when was your child changed?
You mean in the play?
When else, of course?
One night, while I slept, I heard bawling. I felt in the dark. Oh, he's not there! He cannot have moved by himself, not my child.
What are you stopping for? Go on, say, isn't it true? Isn't it true?
Oh God, what is that?
The baby was only 6 months old. How could they?
Oh, what are you afraid of? You summoned them! But don't break the spell! Don't ask for explanations! Say, when I picked him up!
When I picked him up, thrown there under the bed.
He fell! He fell!
Yes, that's what they say, he fell.
Oh, keep going! Concentrate! It's all in the script!
You who ran to me, where did he fall?
Face down, with his little feet the wrong way up. His nappies were spotless, binding his little legs together. Perfectly tied. Perfectly. Someone must have taken him with their hands, away from his mother, and put him under the bed as a joke. If only it had been a joke.
When I picked him up.
The way it bawled. It was another child. It was not hers. We can swear it.
What's this, Elsa? Are you performing? Are we having a rehearsal?
You have just performed, Countess, with those two images born straight from the imagination of your poet.
What are you talking about?
Where did they go?
They have disappeared.
Disappeared? What do you mean disappeared?
What happened?
Two neighbours from the first scene of the tale appeared.
Appeared? What do you mean they appeared?
Yeah, suddenly they started performing with her.
We heard their laughter.
It's all special effects. Don't be taken in by this guy's fancy tricks. We know how theatre works. For God's sake, it's our trade.
No! If that's what you really think, then you know nothing about theatre. You're just focusing on something that's more important to you. If you were of your trade, then you would let yourself be taken in, and sooner than your audience. Because that's the sign by which you recognize an actor. I told you. Learn from children who invent the game and then believe it and live it as if it were real.
But we are not children.
If we were children once, then we can remain so forever. And indeed, you were astounded too a moment ago when those two images appeared.
Appeared? What do you mean by saying appeared? How did they appear?
On cue. And they spoke on cue as well. Isn't that enough for you? The rest, how they appeared, whether it is real or not, that's irrelevant. I wanted to show you, Countess, that your play can only ever live here. But you insist upon dragging it in front of me. And so be it. Outside of this house, I have no power. other than the assistance of my friends. And so I put us all at your service. You mustn't let them see you. Not if you want to impress them when you go up to offer your show. Stay here and rehearse.
Can't you hear them? Are you not afraid?
The walls is shaking.
They sound like a bunch of sandwiches.
Oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I thought Katrina was watching the door.
You were just your mild power over your little freaks. Oh, let's grab him out of here. So, what's this show?
We will be performing the tale of a change. It's a beautiful fairy tale in verse about a mother who loses her child and has it replaced.
Have you thought about making a film of it?
You won't need a film because he was playing the characters with you.
Who's that child being taken?
The Countess. That is, the character portrayed by the Countess.
Who's the Countess? Can't she get the criminal arrested?
No, because this is fiction.
Oh, so she has free?
No. The point of a play is, if it were all really happening.
Yeah, that's the magic of theatre.
We had a guy do some magic tricks once, didn't we? When was that?
It's your uncle's birthday.
Yeah. Shit.
The kind of magic, it's like children when they play and they...
So it's a game. Well, you should have told us. We would have put the stadium, not the theatre.
No, it's more like the game of turning into different people. You see, on stage, I, for example, often play a man.
Oh my God, you get into the spirit. You regain your seats. The show's about to begin. Let's see what kind of magic we have in store for you.
Get off the train.
I'm completely fine.
They have no idea what secret, but willing to learn. Maybe that'll help them settle down. Enjoy the show.
Comedy.
The Countess asked what was starting.
We'll get us the count, will you?
Look, we've been on audience before. Remember 2 weeks ago? I mean, I don't see what the fuss is about this one.
What have we got him on? Why aren't you doing your warm-ups?
You sure you want to send out there?
You know what she's like.
And we must do our best to assist her. Yes, we can see this.
Exactly. She will be great. The kind is right. She'll be fantastic, and we'll all unite around her performance. It'll be such a rare chance.
I don't like this. I want to leave.
I know you'll like. Nobody's leaving!
What is this performance?
The show must go on, isn't that right, Crowbar boy?
You trust me. The magician.
We all just need to stop whinging, and we'll be fine. I mean, we can. We've done worse.
Romeo, darling, where are you going now?
Never you again.
Has everyone gone?
Show commissions, produce some work to be seen by the punters, you know, maybe go take a look at it together, you know. Oh, but you know, I don't really like that kind of shit. I feel dead inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy to be gathered here for the wedding of Anna and Leopardo. And we were very happy to receive a little visit backstage. What a beautiful couple they make. Now, without further ado, let me introduce the tale of the changeling.
Get on with it!
Yes, the tale of the changeling.
The tale of the what?
Changeling. It is about a baby which was taken from its mother.
Why?
Well, we won't go spoil any surprises, will we?
It's my wedding! We do what I want!
Ladies and gentlemen, the tales of the changeling.
If you want to hear a new tale, believe this, my wretched state, but most of all believe these mother's tears, for a curse, for a curse. Though they can see that I am suffering, they are not touched.
Why are you laughing anyway? This is fucking
On the
boring!
contrary, it irritates them, you stupid woman, they shout in my face. My son, my child, really? You have to believe me.
Yeah, I'll believe you if you get your tits out!